guys. This is another interview in English for Monterrey Rock, and we're here with Tony from MEST and
Gary.
The redhead.
guys. You already played at
Yeah.
the main stage.
Yeah.
Did you know this was the first edition of the festival?
The first edition.
No,
No
because
idea.
I literally have been telling people they've been doing this for a while. So obviously I fucking had no idea. I thought
This is the first.
This is the first time.
Well,
It's an awesome first time.
yeah.
It is the first time that a punk rock festival happens here in Monterrey.
This is the first time a festival, punk rock festival in Monterey, not this one, but in general.
Yeah, like
Oh, fuck me.
there was Warped Tours, but those were like mostly emo. This is like the first punk rock.
What year was it that they did the Warp Tour?
The last one was I think 2016.
Okay, so it was emo at that point. Yeah.
Yeah, but this is like the first like just truly punk rock festival. Yeah.
I like that you're calling us punk rock.
And
Not pop punk, it's punk rock.
No, it's punk rock.
Yeah.
And how do you guys feel?
Wonderful.
How do we do?
How do you feel?
Oh, how do I feel? I feel fucking great. A little different than I felt 48 hours ago.
Yes.
When I woke up to a text message from my guitarist saying all flights were canceled and they weren't going to make it. And
What
I
do you
thought
guys do with that?
I thought he was fucking around. I thought he was joking.
And then I woke up to Tony
Yeah.
pounding on my room, being like, "Hey, have you looked at the news yet? Have you looked at your text messages?" And then I looked and I was like, "Oh my God, everything's shut down." And then I had a moment of fear, and then we're like, "We'll make it work."
Yeah. We didn't know what we were going to
It's
do.
Y2K. It happened.
Yeah, fucking, yeah,
Finally.
24 years later.
Well, how do you how do you guys feel the vibe like from your fans here in Monterrey? Like, I think everyone was super excited to be here. Everyone was like so great. Everyone has compared this to like a big party, like a big fraternity where everyone just want to have fun and like just be together.
Yeah, it was almost to look at like it was like an old Warped Tour where everybody came out and supporting all the bands, and we came out just the two of us, and the fans,
the two of us.
the fans were so supportive of it, and just were like so appreciative of us coming out and doing it. But we like had a lot of pressure to come out to do this, and we wanted to make sure that we could make this happen. And it was just really awesome that everybody was so excited and accepting of us doing this tonight.
Yeah, not the typical.
Definitely.
I mean, we're a 4-piece band, and there was 2 of us.
Yeah.
We're not fucking 22 pilots, or what is it, 21 pilots? 21 pilots. I kept saying 22. 21 pilots.
It wasn't MEST. It was meh.
Meh.
It was.
Yeah, last night we
Half.
actually we did a banner on the wall last
Exactly.
night
It was
at
just
the show,
ME.
and it was ME. But
And I think this is like a very unique situation because everyone here really wanted to be here, and there was this big tribute that I also I sang in that was from a very famous emo Mexican band called Banda. And it was like a big fucking tribute with like a lot of different influencers and artists singing every single song. So everyone was just like in a kind of like a mood of being together, like remembering old times.
you're saying that band was here tonight?
They were here, but not
Oh,
like
they didn't
not
play?
they didn't play. Just
Just fucking walking around.
Just the drummer and with a lot of us new
Oh, okay.
age artists from the new scene that they're calling. But it was amazing to see everyone like together in bands as legendary as yours, being here supporting bands that are like kind of new in the scene, and you guys being here and hanging with all the
Yeah,
people.
we actually met some new bands on this show too, like, which was pretty fucking cool. Like bands I've never heard of, where I met a singer of the band that was playing sort of coinciding with us, where we started, so he was able to watch for a little bit, and then they had to run to his stage because then they started, and I was like, all right, well, come check you guys out. And we talked afterwards, and he was like, yeah, he's like, you guys are one of the bands that like why we started playing. So that's fucking cool, like to be that type of band and be involved in the scene this.
Also, the
many
band that's
years.
playing right now is like a big legend here in Mexico, and there's like they are inviting a lot of new artists to play with them, and that's just like
That's cool.
the whole vibe of the festival. That's why everyone's so happy. I've seen a lot of people, like a lot of young kids, like with the bracelet that's like non-alcoholic beverages, please. So I'm
Right.
just so happy to see everyone like hanging.
It's cool though.
together.
When bands like that do that, it's cool because it carries on the scene. It keeps bands going. That's fucking rad.
We are heavy advocates for people bringing kids out to shows. You know, we're all parents in this band, and carrying on that tradition of like punk rock shows and like experiencing that is really important to all of us, and carrying on that scene. So it's really cool when kids come out to our shows and we throw them out into crowd surf. Like it's
Just throw them out.
really awesome.
We just throw them into the crowd.
Literally like toss them.
We do. This is the true story. We do.
Okay.
Good luck.
We do.
But we also will bring our kids to lead
We
by
toss. We
example.
toss our own kids
Yeah.
also. So
Yeah.
it's like a fair thing of like if
Yeah.
our kid
It's a
gets
fair
fucked up, so
fight,
does
you know?
yours. Yeah.
I'll just push my kid into the
Right.
mosh pit, and you push yours.
If my kid gets fucked up, so does yours. It's
Exactly.
even fucking trade.
Guys, I want to ask you a question I've been asking to like every artist. What do you think? What are the like 2 or 3 bands that influenced your music the
Oh boy.
most?
Go ahead.
Oh.
Take it. I just got asked this earlier
I mean,
too, and I'm like, it's fucking
for-
it's the worst question, but it makes the most sense.
It's a very difficult question.
Yeah.
For me,
To
I'll
sum it
go
up.
with Rancid, NoFX, Bad Religion, and Green Day.
That was 3. Now you're going 4.
Yeah, well, you know,
That's how it works. Yeah.
it's just, you know.
That was the same
I'm
answer.
I'm forever 13 years old, so it will always be like those bands that.
There's so many legendary
Came
bands
up
of that
growing
era
up.
that
Yeah.
like influence us.
It's
like
so difficult.
We wouldn't exist the same way there's like some bands now. Like we're not of that stature ever. I don't ever claim that. Like meeting a dude singing in a band that's like massive here. Like I asked my friend, I go, "What's the band that's playing over there?" I'm like, that we're competing with. I'm like, "Are they really big?" And they're like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "I met the singer. He loves our band." Like we influence them. That's fucking cool. Like I'll never like that's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
So, but I'll never put myself up on that pedestal as like the bands that I looked up to, just because I'm still a fan no matter what. And so it's like to think about like Green Day, Rancid, Operation Ivy, The Clash, Social Distortion, Face to Face, MXPX, NoFX. Like it just, you know what I mean? Like it's too hard to be like, what's 3 bands?
Yeah, at the end of the day, we're all like fans of the music. That's why we do music.
Yeah, and those bands wouldn't exist. I mean, we wouldn't exist without those bands, you know? So that's the fucking reality of it. Like,
Yeah.
to sum it up into 3 bands, it's like whatever I'm feeling that day,
Yeah.
because it'll change. Like tomorrow's interview, I might say 3 different bands, you know? Like,
And it's so cool that you guys are like here, you know, being like, hey, it's so cool that we influenced you. We're also gonna check you guys out, like another
Yeah.
bands out, and that's
yeah, we actually
pretty cool
talked
to
with
me.
that dude that I was talking to.
Yeah.
I was like, let's tour together. He's like, okay.
Oh.
And he's from here, so like that's fucking cool. Like that'd be rad, you know?
I feel like it's always important to be inspired by like up and coming artists and new people, because everybody's hungry. Everybody wants to like keep it going. So it's always cool to see up and coming bands or just bands that are out there doing it, that everybody's hungry and aggressive and just pushing through.
Yeah, and I think it's our job too. Like I do pay attention a lot to new bands that like if I find shit online, Instagram, bullshit reels, you know.
Yeah.
And if I find like I discovered a band from Chicago called Rematch, where like it was just in the reels going through, and it was a fucking chorus, and I was like, fuck, that chorus is dope. So I went and checked out the band, found out they're literally from the next town over that I grew up in, which was so random. So we did a headlining show, like a record release show back in June, which I think we're only in July, but we had them open up for us because it's like to give back, to like sort of keep it going, you know. It's the same way that bands sort of did it for us, you know. It's our job to help.
That's amazing. And you said you were from Illinois?
Originally from Chicago. I live in
Chicago.
California now.
Oh,
He's from
and
Rochester.
you-
2 of our guys that didn't make it are from Chicago.
Right. And how do you guys like started the band? How do you guys you know
I
come
was
together?
I was a small
Life.
child.
Yeah, it was a roll of the dice.
I was a small child.
And then a child got involved, and
Yeah.
you know, we were bound by the law
Yeah.
in the U.S. that we had to
Yeah.
make it work.
It was part of a religious cult. It was a religious cult, actually.
Yeah,
Called Christianity.
yeah,
No, so I started the band in '95, which most people know the original lineup from like fucking 95 to, well, actually from like 98 to 2005. But we started in 98 to 2003 would be, 2005 was the original that people consider it. That's actually the shortest chapter of the band, to be honest. Because we started in 95, my brother was in it, then he wasn't, starting in 98. But yeah, it was just like me, my brother, and my cousin started the band. And since then, it's been a million different chapters. And it's just like, over the past 5 or 6 years, me and Gary have been doing this. Devin joined the band a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
But Devin lived up in my neighborhood. We were never friends, but he was part of the music scene. He was a fan of the band. And like, it was weird. Once he joined the band, it was sort of one of those things where I was like, if we had met years ago, we probably would have been friends because it's the same personality, because it's like a neighborhood personality. And then like my little brother was supposed to play bass with us tonight, but he got stuck in Chicago. So yeah, I mean, I grew up playing music. My dad was a musician. So like my first band, I was 7 years old. It was a metal band. We were called Fallen Angels. We used to play like Judas Priest and Rolling Stone covers. It was fucking terrible. I played guitar, but I only played like single string, like a bass guitar. But yeah, I've been doing bands since we were kids, and he's been in bands. And like his bassist that he grew up with, that was his best friend, actually played bass in my band for a little bit. Yeah, it's like and I hadn't met him yet either.
And
like
Tony and I first saw MEST in 2002, right before my band did Warped Tour, and it was MEST, The Used, and Goldfinger, and it was a very profound show in my lifetime with like my friends seeing these.
Was
bands.
that the outside show where I stuck up for The Used?
That free show, and it was amazing. And then like 2 months later, we were on Warped Tour with them. And so,
do you know The Used? Are you a fan of The Used? So the show he's talking about, and I like to hold fucking pride in this. So The Used was opening up, then it was us, then Goldfinger. And it was this massive outside show in, was it in Rochester?
Buffalo.
Yeah,
Buffalo, yeah.
And the crowd hated The Used. They were fucking assholes. And I got on stage, and before we even played, the first thing I said to them was, you guys all fucking suck. The Used is amazing. And by this time next year, they will be your favorite band.
And they were.
And they were.
And they were. And that Warped Tour, which was 2002, Bert was with us every day in our old band. He rode with us, and we watched them like develop and that record just take off, and then it was incredible. So,
that's the concept of being musicians, sticking up for each other.
It's rad.
It's amazing the trajectory you guys had and like the impact you still have on like new bands and the new scene, the new kids that are here just to hear you.
It's crazy to see new fans singing, like new and old fans singing the new songs, and like
that's like the best reward ever.
And like putting as much effort as they would with like the classic songs. It's amazing.
That's so great. And well, the last question is, how do you guys like it here in Mexico?
Pretty awesome.
Imagine if you asked that question and somebody's like, it sort of sucks.
It fucks.
How do you like it in Mexico? It's fucking, I'd rather be home.
It's been wonderful.
That's not my answer, by the way. That was a joke. So just fucking don't.
The fans have been amazing. The shows have been so much fun, and everybody has been, especially with our current situation, having to do like the two-piece. The fans have been incredibly wonderful. Yeah,
I will say this. I always say like, we've played a good amount of shows in Mexico. We've done some tours, but like me and my family, we fucking come to Mexico for vacation. I love Mexico. Nice. It's fucking great. Like we drive to Tijuana, jump on a fucking plane. You can bring all the drugs you want because they don't check you at the airport.
That's great.
So I just smuggle. I use my kid, and I just fucking stuff all the drugs on him because they're not gonna check him.
That's what kids are for.
Yeah, that's why I fucking had
Advil.
5.
You gotta smuggle Advil. You know?
Yeah, stuff right up the sphincter. But yeah, I love Mexico. I can't wait to come back.
Well, guys, thank you for coming and thank you for the interview. I'm so glad to be here.
Do you want to play some fucking baseball now?
Yeah.
Do they realize that we're on a baseball field right now?
I don't think. Field.
I gotta find a baseball for my kid.
Oh, it's true. He's been asking.
This is the rehearsal, like thing for the pitches.
I like that you call it a fucking rehearsal.
For one of the most famous baseball league here in Mexico.
Let's go. Can we go use the locker room shower?
What?
can I use the locker room shower?
Sure.
Just so I can say I showered where
Yeah, it's over there.
the famous. Okay.
Over there.
Perfect.
Wait, where you went to smoke is over there.
You wash my back, I wash yours. Sort of thing.
Thank you guys for being here, and thank you for giving me a chance to be sitting here with legends.
Thank you, honey. We're not legends. That makes us sound old. Fuck. Whatever.
You're legends to me.
Cool. Thank you, hon.